Then the elder came from there to the world of men and told the story to the Bhagava. When he had heard it, the Bhagava said, Moggallana, not only by you have the devas been questioned and have replied in this fashion, but indeed in a former time they were questioned by me, too, and they answered in like fashion, and entreated by the elder he told the life of Khuddhaka, a story of his own past. The seven-stringed, melodious, agreeable, I made to speak. One summons me to the dancing stage. Kosaya, be my refuge. I am your refuge. I am one who honors teachers. The pupil will not defeat you. Teacher, you will defeat the pupil. It is said that the 36 women who existed in the human state in the time of Kassapa, the fully self-awakened one, performed such and such deeds of merit. There one woman gave dress. One a wreath of jasmine. One, perfume. One, superb fruit. One, sugar-cane juice. One gave a 5-finger perfume mark at the chaitya of the earlier Buddha. One observed the observance. Apposatha, fortnightly fasting and confession. One gave water to monk as he was eating at the approach of mealtime. One attended, without anger, to bad-tempered mother and father-in-law. One was industrious as a slave. One gave milk rice to a monk who was seeking alms. One gave molasses. One, a piece of sugar cane. One, timber fruit. One, a sweet cucumber. One, the fruit of a creeper. One, Pharasaka. One, an earthenware coal pan. One, a handful of roots of the water lily. One handful of flowers. One, a bundle of roots. One, a handful of neem leaves. One gave gruel. One, sesame seed cake. One gave a waistband. One, a shoulder strap. One, a bandage. One, a fan. One, a palm leaf. One, a peacock feather fly whisk. One, a parasol. One, sandals. One, a cake. One, a sweetmeat. One, a sweet cake. They each with a retinue of 1,000 nymphs were reborn in the realm of the 33 as attendants upon Saka. Questioned by the teacher Khuddhaka, they each explained in turn her own good deed performed, beginning with a woman who gave dress most fine, and so on. You who stand with surpassing beauty, Devata, are making all the quarters shining like the healing star. Because of what is your beauty such? Because of what do you prosper her, and there arise whatever are those delights that are dear to your here? I ask you, Devi of great majesty, what merit did you perform when you were born a human being? Because of what is your brilliant majesty thus, and your beauty illumines all the quarters? That Devata, delighted at being questioned by Moggallana, when asked the question explained of what deed this was the fruit. A woman who gave dress most fine was glorious among men and women. Thus she who gave things of such a pleasing sort has reached and received a charming deva abode. Look at the mansion of such as me. A nymph am I who assumes any form at will. The most glorious of 1,000 nymphs am I. Look at the resultant of the merit. Because of this is my beauty such. And my beauty illumines all the quarters. As this mansion of the giver of dress, so the next 4 mansions should expanded. Verses, are to be repeated 4 times with the variations of a woman who gave flowers most fine, a woman who gave perfumes most fine, a woman who gave fruits most fine. A woman who gave savoyuris most fine. Instead of a woman who gave dress most fine. I gave the 5-finger perfume mark at the thupa of the Lord Kassapa. As this mansions of the 5-finger perfume mark, so the next 4 mansions should be expanded, repeating verses but with the following variation instead of verse. I saw monks and nuns as they traveled along the road. When I had heard Dhamma from them, I observed one observance day. Apposatha, fortnightly fasting and confession. Standing in the water, with devout mind I gave water to a monk. A mother-in-law and a father-in-law, ill-tempered and cross and rough, I waited upon, free from spite, diligent in my own morality. I was one who worked for others, a servant girl industrious in duty, without anger, not conceited, I was one who shared what was my one. Having thus performed a deed, arisen in a good rebirth I find delight. I gave milk rice to a monk who was walking for alms, look at my mansion. As this mansion of the giver of mild rice of there are mansions that should be expanded. I gave molasses. I gave a little piece of sugar cane. I gave timber fruit. I gave a sweet cucumber. I gave a cucumber. I gave fruit of a creeper. I gave farasaka. I gave a fire vessel. I gave a handful of greens. I gave a handful of small flowers. I gave a bundle of toots. I gave a handful of neem. I gave mango gruel. I gave oil seed cake. I gave a waistband. I gave a shoulder strap. I gave a bandage. I gave a fan. I gave a palm leaf. I gave a peacock, feather fly whisk. I gave a parasol. I gave sandals. I gave a cake. I gave a sweetmeat. I gave a sweet cake to a monk who was walking for alms. Look at the mansion of such as mine. A nymph am I who assumes any form at will, the most glorious of 1,000 nymphs. Look at the resultant of merit. Because of this is my beauty such. And my beauty illumines all the quarters. Well indeed is it that I have come this day. Happily dawned, happily risen, because I have seen the devas, nymphs who can assume any form at will. Having heard of their Dhamma I will perform abundant righteousness. By giving of donation, practice of equanimity, self-control and taming of mind I myself will go there where they who go grieve not. Vimanavathu. Vimanavathu. Dazzling mansion. The Bhagava was dwelling at Savatthi, in Jetavana. And at that time in the little village of Nalaka a certain man of means, a voluntary server of the venerable elder monk Reveda, had 2 daughters. One of them was named Bhatta, the other Subhada. Bhatta, elder of the 2, went to the home of a husband, was full of faith, happiness and wisdom but was barren. She said to her husband, I have a younger sister named Subhada. Take her. Should she give a son, he would be a son to me too, and this line would not die out. Her husband assented, very well, and did as she suggested. Now Bhatta advised Subhada. Subhada, take pleasure in giving alms, and be diligent in faring rightly, so will there be in your power advantage in the world that we see and in the world that we see and in the world to come. One day Subhada, on her sister's advice and acting according to what she had said, invited the venerable elder monk Reveda to a meal bringing 7 others with him. They went to her house. Having joyful mind, serving with her own hands, she satisfied the venerable elder monk Reveda and the monks with sumptuous food, hard and soft. The elder gave thanks and went. Afterwards Subhada died and was reborn in the companionship of the devas who delight in creating. But Bhatta, because she had given gifts among individuals, was reborn as an attendant of Saka. Now Subhada, on thinking over her own success and wondering, now because of what merit have I arisen here? Realized that she had so attained through her donation to the order based on Bhatta's advice, and as she was wondering now, where is Bhatta? She saw that she had been reborn as an attendant upon Saka, and with compassion for her entered her mansion. Then Bhatta asked her, dazzling in beauty and with splendor, O resplendent one, you outshine in beauty every deva of the 33. I do not recollect your sight, this is my first sight of you. From what assembly of devas have you come here and address me by name? Replying in 2 verses she explained. I Bhatta, was Subhada in a former human existence. I was a co-wife with you and was your younger sister. I myself at the breaking up of the body, well freed, deceasing from there arose in companionship with the devas who delight in creating. Again Bhatta questioned her. Beings who have done much that is lovely, go unto these devas, your birth among whom, Subhada, you proclaim. But how, by what means or by who, instructed, by what kind of giving of donation, by what good practice are you resplendent? Attained to such renown, finding abundant distinction, Devata, when asked, explain of what deed this is the fruit. Again Subhadha spoke. Just 8 alms portions was the gift of old I gave with my own hands, having joyful mind, to the order worthy to receive. Because of this is my beauty such, because of this do I prosper here and there arise whatever are those delights that are dear to my heart. I make known to you, Devi of great majesty, what I did when I was born a human being. Because of this is my brilliant majesty thus and my beauty illumines all the quarters. Then Bhatta asked. With my own hands, having joyful mind, I refreshed with food and drink more monks, self-restrained, practicing celibacy, than you. Having given more than you I have come to a low group. How is it that you, having given less have found abundant distinction? Devata, when asked, explain of what deed this is the fruit. Again Subhadha said. Of old I saw a monk, one who was inspiring to the mind. I invited him, Riveda, and 7 others to a meal. He, Riveda, intent on my welfare and out of compassion, said to me, give to the order. I did his asking. That gift to the order was established in the immeasurable. Your gift to individuals was not of great fruit for you. When Subhadha had spoken thus, Bhatta, accepting the meaning and wishing later to emulate her, spoke the verse. Now do I know that a gift to the order is of great fruit. When I have gone to human status bountiful without stinginess, I will give gifts diligently to the order again and again. And Subhadha went to her own Deva world. Then when Sakka saw the Deva maiden shining and surpassing in the effulgence of her physical form all the Devas of the 33 and heard the conversation between the two. Immediately Subhadha had disappeared, since he did not know who this could be, he asked Bhatta. Bhatta, who is this Devata who earnestly spoke with you? She outshines in beauty every Deva of the 33. And she said to him, Lord of Devas, when she was born a human being in a former human existence, she was a co-wife with me and was my younger sister. Having given gifts to the order, she shines with merit done. Then Sakka talked Dhamma, showing the great fruit of her worthy gift to the order. She who was formerly your sister, Bhatta, shines by means of Dhamma in that she established her gift to the order in the immeasurable. 4. Upon Mount Vulture Peak I asked the Buddha about the resultant of liberality where the gift is of great fruit. For human beings, creatures, who give alms hoping for merit, for whom is merit made of use in rebirths where the gift is of great fruit. Then the Buddha who knew for himself the fruit of deeds and about the resultant of liberality where giving of donation is of great fruit, explained to me. And 4 are they upon the way and 4 established in its fruits. This order is upright and with Shil Samadhi and Panna. For human beings, creatures, who give alms hoping to gain merit, bounty bestowed on the order brings merit of use in rebirths. The gift is of great fruit. For this order is widespread, vast. It is immeasurable like the ocean, the sea. Disciples of the Great One, among men are the best of these, bringing luster where they recite Dhamma. They who give gifts dedicated to the order theirs is rightly given, rightly offered, rightly sacrificed. That gift bestowed upon the order is of great fruit and is praised by knowers of the world. Recollecting merit such as this, those who fare in the world with joy arisen having destroyed the stain of stinginess with its root, blameless attain heavenly place. Sakka, told this whole occurrence to the venerable elder monk Mahamoggalana told the Lord. He made it an occasion for teaching Dhamma. Vimanavathu. Vimanavathu. Pesavati's mansion, Sariputta attains Nibbana. The Bhagava was dwelling at Savatthi, in Jetavana. At that time in Nalaka village, in the country of the Magadhas, was a daughter-in-law named Pesavati in the family of a householder, a man of substance. The story goes that when the golden thupa yojana in extent was being made for the Lord Kassapa, she as a young girl had gone with her mother to the site of the monument, and asked her mother, "Mother, around my neck is this little golden ornament of mine. I would like to give it for the chaitya. Her mother said, very well, give it, and loosened it from her daughter's neck and gave it into the hand of a goldsmith, saying, this is a contribution from this girl. Include. It is the brick you are making. The goldsmith did so. Afterwards the girl died, and because of that particular deed of merit, was reborn in the world of devas, and faring on in one good rebirth after another, was reborn in Nalaka in the time of our Bhagava. In course of time she became 12 years old. One day she was sent on an errand by her mother, and went with some money to a certain shop to buy oil. And in the shop a certain householder was digging to get a great quantity of coin and gold, pearls, gems, and jewels which had been buried and left by his father. The shopkeeper saw that because of the fruit of his deeds they appeared as pebbles, little fragments of rock and gravel. Then he made a heap and put them in.